Houston, say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
Like,
okay, go ahead.
Hey, Play Cousins, it's your favorite cousin, Lloyd. I'm down here in your auntie's cabinet drinking her good liquor, and I'm just here to remind you that if you are not 18 years old as of today, in the year of our Lord 2018, you can't listen to this show unless you get parental permission. And if your parents give you permission, they some cool ass parents, and you should buy them something cool for Christmas.
Should.
Hey, everybody. It's Ray. And you're listening to Houston We Have a Problem podcast. I'm sorry, I was in the middle of drinking my wine. I thought it was going to go for like another second. This is Houston We Have a Problem podcast. And today, as per usual, I am joined by my two friends, Chris and Lloyd. Say what's up, guys.
What's up, guys?
Friend is a bit strong.
Huh?
We've been doing this for like
2 years, damn near 3.
Right, I understand.
And at some point, you might have to accept that y'all might be friends. I don't know what kind of friends, not my type of friend, but y'all might be friends.
Anyway, as per usual, I am joined by Chris and Lloyd. If you guys want to get in contact with the show, you can tweet us at T for Tried It. You can email us at hwap.podcast@gmail.com. That is hwhap.podcast@gmail.com. You can find us laid up in the Black Astronauts Facebook group. We just gonna lay up in their shit for a while. We not gonna make our own, cause for what? And we have
that's some nigga shit.
Whatever.
I know we run that group. Quit playing.
Right.
Who you think know y'all shit? Me.
Right.
Who you think drumming up all the conversations? Ray.
Come on now.
Who you think in there liking shit and just reminding see why he ain't shit? Chris. It's us.
They know us. So we just gonna, we like some little 18-year-olds in our parents' basement, smoking weed and drinking up the liquor when they gone for the weekend, throwing parties and shit. We just gonna chill in their shit.
I like that analogy. Okay.
Like a clink clank.
Yeah.
Don't TT.
I'm with that one. Okay.
Okay. And so also, guys, we have some good news. You remember those answers I told you I was gonna have on the next show? I got a couple of them. Not all of them, but just a couple of them. First one being Patreon. So, as you guys know, we are going Beyonce. We are starting our own podcast network, which means that we have to do all our own podcast stuff ourselves, and that includes funded. So we went ahead and started a Patreon. The website is www.patreon.com/HWAP network. That is HWHAP network. Again, www.patreon.com/HWAP network. And that is where you can go to support us, cousins. There's been a couple of you who've been asking, like, okay, so what's up with Patreon? We want to contribute. We want to help. And we really, really appreciate it. So we set that up. At the moment, we only have 2 levels. The first level is $1. It's called Just Showing Love. That's for anybody who wants to contribute anything at all. Don't feel bad if you can only contribute $1, because, nigga, that's $1 we didn't have before. And we appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Listen. Amen.
Oh, I thought there was going to be more behind the listen. And we have our second level, which is a $5 level, which is Play Cousins. And so basically, if you donate $5 to the show, then at this moment, what we'll do is we'll shout you out on the show. Now, we really didn't feel comfortable making too many levels and asking for too much money, because we don't really have that much to give y'all at the moment. So as we fund certain things and we get all of our equipment together and we get into the full swing of things, the levels will change. They will be added. You know, different perks will come into play. But right now, we feel like that's a fair, you know, a fair ask. Anybody else? No?
That's really all we got, sis.
Yeah.
That's all we.
I mean, as far as the new RSS feed, at the moment, I am sourcing prices for like logos and other branding things before we dive too deep into that. But by the next show, I should have some answers as far as like where the link is going to be. Because right now, on top of getting the RSS feed, I'm trying to cultivate our 2.5 years worth of shows and put them in order so that we can start up an archive. And so you guys can, some of our newcomers and people who haven't had the opportunity to listen to some of our past content will have access to that. But that all takes time, and it also takes money. So right now, everything that we have, we're paying for out of pocket, which, I mean, you know, it's fine. But, you know, the best nation in the world is donation. So hook a nigga up. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
Never gets old.
Nigga.
I'm just saying, you know. We don't mind bringing y'all this bomb ass content, but you know it's
the
expensive.
best nation is donation. I really thought that was gonna go in a different direction. Oh my god!
Listen, I skipped over Black Friday in order for us to purchase a couple of things and to get a couple things rolling. So,
you did?
Yeah.
Oh, cause I didn't sacrifice that for you. I'm so sorry.
I didn't ask y'all to. I mean,
I had to get my skincare. I'm sorry.
Anyway. So, you know, again, I'm about to give the email again. Patreon.com/HWAP network. And so let's get into the show. First up, let's find out what everybody's been up to. Crystal, what have you been doing?
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you asked. Yes, my whole body hurts every day, all the time at any given moment, because I made the stupid decision to start working out twice a day, 5 days a week. Everything really hurts. And so far I'm proud of myself because I'm actually on week 3.
Hey, I'm proud of you too.
Shout out
Listen,
to you.
I really thought I was going to give up. So yeah, everything hurts. I'm still, you know, selling my body butters and.
Oh my God! I thought you was about to say I'm selling my body. I'm like, oh my God, Crystal, what the fuck?
Times is rough.
Interrupt. Okay? We're recording for a brief intermission.
This shea butter don't pay for itself.
Okay.
And just working and also planning on something really important in the works. And yeah, that's it. Just trying to take better care of myself and get my body tight, get it looking right, and all of that jazz. Where you can find me? You can find me on Twitter, Facebook. What's the other one? Yeah, Twitter.
Oh, girl, we out of practice.
Twitter and Tumblr as the Chrissy Chula. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as Chrissy Chula. And I have my own Patreon. If you want to contribute, you should contribute to both. It's patreon.com/Chrissy Chula. If you want to email me, you can email me at ask_Chrissy@yahoo.com. And I think that's it. Oh, also, I am starting a campaign so that way I need everybody to come together and figure out a way for me to meet Shah Rukh Khan. I love him, and I just came up with this idea last night. So go to my Instagram.
Yeah, okay, sure. Good luck with that. I mean, not saying that you can't. I'm just, genuinely good luck with that. Hope that you do it. I mean, you're a little bit more famous than you like to give yourself credit for, so you can make it happen.
Listen, for those who don't know, Shah Rukh Khan is an Indian actor, and he's really famous in India. He's a Bollywood actor, and I love him.
Mm-hmm.
And
see, at first
he can get the panties.
At first, I thought you said Shaka Khan. And I was like, I can get behind that. And then I heard you say it again, and I was like, oh, who? This must be one of the men she like So okay, well, go to her page and tag that nigga, I guess. Lloyd,
Yes.
what about you?
I have been cooking Thanksgiving dinners,
Yes.
writing down a real budget, working, trying to still figure out why I ain't played the lotto yet. It's always on my list of shit to do every week, but it never gets done because I like guaranteed money, and lottery is still gambling. It's probably a little less hectic than going to a casino, but yeah. Still trying to figure out why Garvey can't say more than 3 words. It really worries me. But if you're looking for me or looking to see Garvey rolling her eyes at me, oh, and apparently pissing people off on Instagram because, fuck Pastor John Gray. But if you're looking for me or my cute ass daughter, you can find us on Instagram or Twitter at thatgirl_Lloyd.
Awesome. And as for me, what have I been up to? I've been pulling together a fucking podcast network. That's what I've been doing.
You know what? You have. I am going to be nice to you today because you have been fucking phenomenal.
I try. I really do. I've been pulling together a podcast network, running here, running there, doing things. Working on getting back into school. More than anything, just focusing on making sure that I make the correct financial decision so that I can pay for it, because I refuse to see my student loan balance go up anymore. I don't have it in me to have it happen more. You know what I mean? Like
Amen.
I can't do it. So,
Amen.
I'm going to pay for, at least as much of it as I can, applying for scholarships, all this other stuff. So I've been super busy. Outside of that, I've just been on my Xbox shooting shit because that's the only peace I have in my life nowadays. I'm serious, man. Like, I come home, I cut on my Xbox, I turn on Destiny, and then I'm just like, who wants to get shot today? My nigga. I actually think that I might switch back to my other game, Division, because I feel better. I kind of want to shoot people, not, that's not bad. I kind of want to shoot digital people, not digital aliens. So, I don't know. But outside of that, you can find me all over the internet at This Zeta's a Jerk. Before we get into the news topics, we replaced our This Week in Black Wall Street segment with Instagram pages you should follow because niggas be broke these days. So we're going to turn to our good sis Chris, and she's going to tell us an Instagram page that we should definitely follow.
Yes. So I don't even know why I didn't think of this before. Marseille Martin, for those who do not know, she plays the youngest girl
Diane.
on Blackish.
Yes, she plays Diane on Blackish.
She plays Diane on Blackish, and I think that she is single-handedly the greatest character that has ever been on television. I love her so much. Like, if I knew that if I had a child, she would turn out like her, I'd be okay with having a kid. That's how much I love her. So you should follow her on Instagram. It's her name. It's Marseille Martin. It's spelled MarSaiMartin. She's fucking fantastic. I love that little girl.
And she does her little makeup tutorials.
Yes. Oh my God.
I stand.
I love that little girl. We all gonna be working for her one day.
Yeah. So that is an awesome page to follow if you're not following it already. I don't know. Anyway.
I heard that too that time.
Thank you. Okay, so it's not just me because I was like, I need to double check this wine. So let's get into these topics. What do you guys want to let's get, we actually for the most part have all good news or all pretty scandalous. No, I guess except for Gina Rodriguez. So we'll start there. Chris?
Okay, that's good. I was going to say, let's do the bad stuff first and then we end on a high note.
Yeah.
So there was a video that was released, and it was an interview, I believe, for Vanity Fair. It was one of their like special interviews, and it was women in Hollywood, and they chose 4 women in Hollywood. They chose Gina Rodriguez from Jane the Virgin, Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy. She plays Meredith Grey, which is my show, and then Gabrielle Union. And then they had another white girl, don't know why, Emma Roberts. I mean, no shade to her. Like, I like her. But I just feel like they could have put an Asian actor in there, but whatever, Never mind. They just came out with one of the biggest Asian blockbusters, whatever. So they put Emma Roberts on there. She has, most people know her. She played Madison this past season. on American Horror Story. So, and they were having a discussion just about like how women are treated in Hollywood. They were mainly talking about the wage gap, and everybody talked for a little bit, except for Emma, which is, I don't know why she was there, but whatever. Anyways, so
because she can't speak about a wage gap. She probably was making more than, once they started talking, she realized she was making more than all these bitches. Like,
probably.
Let me be quiet. This is not the time for me to speak.
Shut up before I fuck my own bag up.
Right, you know what I mean?
Sitting there, right? Because I just think that it's unfair that as women we make $30,000 an episode, and everybody turn around, bitch. How many dollars per episode?
You make how much?
Hold on.
Who the fuck is your manager?
You talk too much, you might fuck up. So
right, Emma, shut the fuck up. So they started talking about the wage gap, and Gabrielle Union, of course, has something like really poignant and important to say. She brought up a good point about how she just feels like. And she's talked about with other Black actresses how there's this idea or this mentality that when she walks into a room, she doesn't want to demand higher pay because there's just this idea that like I should be grateful that I'm just even in the room. And she said that's something that, she tries to fight. And then Ellen came out, she had time, and she was talking about how there was lack of color in Hollywood. That's a bold white woman. And then she went off. And then Gina,
Gina.
rooting for you. I'm gonna be patient. So she started talking about how she was trying to learn and she was trying to educate herself. And she said that basically she was talking about how the different types of women in Hollywood make money. She said that Black women make more money than Latino women. And I think she said Black women make more money than Latino and Asian women, which is completely off base.
I was going to say, is that true or is it not true?
That's not true. It's like not true at all. It's an ignorant gap. And people blew up about it. And when I heard it, I was like, well, yeah, I mean, that just sounds like that's a slip. It's a mistake. But apparently somebody pulled out the receipts because you know how Black women be doing. And Black women got all the receipts. So come to find out, this isn't the first time that she's had some slick shit to say about Black women.
Oh no. I was definitely surprised that you said that because I'm like, I don't know what she said, but I know that she's come up out of her mouth before.
Yeah, and I think I had heard something before, in passing, and I really didn't think about it because it was just okay, somebody mentioned it and I kept it moving. But I read all that shit and recently, so for example, there's a movie coming out. There's a cartoon movie that Yara Shahidi is in. She's doing the voice of a little monster. I don't know what the shit is called. It's for little kids. It's called Cartoon Monsters. I don't know. So they were on, and of course, they were at a press junket, and one of the guys was interviewing her. The guy that was interviewing them was Black, and it was Gina Rodriguez and it was Yara, and they were sitting together, and he had just got through, I guess, asking Gina a question. He went to Yara and he said, I just want to let you know before I start that, you really are a great role model for little Black girls out there. And then, of course, Gina coming in with the ashiness was like, well, she's a great role model for all girls. She's a great role model for all women. Okay, all. And then the interviewer had time and he said, right, but she's really good for Black girls too. He came in and was like, no, I know what you said. Right, that's cute. But anyways. And apparently she just said some other slick shit about Black actors, and she's left Afro-Latinas out of the Latina narrative. Whenever she talks about Latinas, she seems to her language around talking about Latinos leaves out Black Latinos. And so, I mean, look it up, go on Twitter, shit. Somebody got all the receipts. They got videos, they got interviews. I was just like, oh my goodness, I feel like I just came on the damn Panama Papers. I didn't even know what to do. Yeah. Which is,
Go ahead.
And what's ironic about it is that she's black. Like she's part black.
Yeah, that's what makes you think that she can say it. Yeah,
I
no
guess.
thanks, girl. Nobody asked you. Shush. Thanks.
Is she part black? Does she know that?
Right. Like,
Because it doesn't seem like. Is she Dominican? I ain't even trying to be funny.
no, she's
Because
unfortunately.
that would make more sense to me. 'Cause we know a lot of
No,
Dominicans won't accept they black either.
they don't. But no, unfortunately, she's one of ours. She's Puerto Rican.
Oh hell no.
Yeah.
Bitch, if you don't go sit down somewhere and bring me some arroz con pollo and go the fuck on with that shit.
Listen.
I'm stressed. This is why first of all, I'd never watch Jane the Virgin just because the premise of the show just sounded asinine to me. But look at here, bitch. I've already been on to you since your Black Panther comments. And
Yeah, that too.
I just need you to sit the fuck down.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. I'm like, girl. But okay.
See, that comment right there was really like, that was the one you could call innocuous. This one is anti-black as fuck and it's not inconspicuous. It's just right in your fucking face. What are you talking about, sis?
The Yara one for me was obvious, but when she was talking about the pay gap and because she was just listing them, she wasn't saying black women get paid more. She didn't say it like that. She said it like, I'm just learning about the pay gap and that, like, for example, like white women get paid more than, than most women, and then black women get paid more than Latino women and Latino women. So she was going down like that. She wasn't. So I was thinking, okay, well, she obviously slipped up. You ignorant. You just need to be corrected. And everybody was blowing up at her. I'm like, why are y'all going off on her? And then when you put it in the context of all this other shit she just said, you're like, oh, okay, I see where you coming from now. I see exactly where you coming from now. And you got a fucking complex, and you need to check that for real. Somebody ASAP.
Yeah. Woo Chillay.
Woo Chillay.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a soundbite we need. Whoever got that video on Twitter, can you send it to us at Tifa Tried It? Because we need that as a soundbite.
Anti-blackness is very prevalent in the Latino community.
Would it be childish to name that little section of the show "Damn Gina"?
No, it would actually be perfect.
Okay, just curious.
It works.
Cool. Let's see. What's the next most upsetting thing on here?
Wait, I thought you said all the other stuff was good.
All the other stuff for the most part is good. I was just trying to see if there's anything else. So,
let's talk about Palesi.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Am I talking about it? Are you talking about it?
Okay, so guys, I just want to say I am all for 2018 has been so fucking entertaining and devastating all at the same time. But this is on the entertaining side of things. So one of my favorite stores, and I'm not going to sit here in front with y'all, Payless decided to do a social experiment where they opened up a luxury store under the name Palessi. Yes, Palessi. And, basically marketed all the items in there as, designer shoes and bags, like, Rodeo Drive, shit we can't pronounce, like Hermes and all that shit Beyonce was talking about in Upgrade You, which I still can't pronounce.
Girl, I just learned what Audemars Piguet is.
Yeah, girl, there's a store right here in Kenwood that sells that shit. I said,
really? Because at that part, I was just like, Bay, watch Triple Z.
You was just mumbling some shit. We was on our mumble rap. Well, before it was mumble rap.
That just lets you know how broke we are, man.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
So basically, they opened the store and they invited a whole bunch of social media influencers as well as other people within that community to come shop there. And they basically told them that we're going to give you $250 to do our market research experiment. But they didn't tell them that all the items were from Payless and marked up as like expensive designer shoes. I mean, would you believe niggas was really in there just buying shoes? The same $30 shoe that you would have got at Payless, they were dropping $675 for.
Yeah, they did like a thing where they were like, how much would you pay? And people were like, I would pay $600-700 for these shoes.
Because I could tell they're high quality. One person was like, I could tell these are high quality.
Wait, did they actually give them the money? Like, did the customers pay?
Yeah, they gave
them
the money, and then after the experiment was over, they gave them the money back and then let them keep whatever they took.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I wanted to know. Okay.
Shit, that
All
would be the scam of the year.
right.
Bruh.
Listen.
Joanne the scammer somewhere is proud, okay? Real proud of Palessi. Or is it policy?
I don't
Palazzi.
know. Palazzi.
Policy. Store policy is that this is Payless, bitch. So
Ooh, child. Ooh,
I
child.
saw this story on like my
When I
Being
first saw it, I
homepage
thought it
or
was fake.
something.
I was like, nah.
No, I knew it was real because this is let's cousins, let's gather around and be real about some shit, okay?
Uh-oh.
Payless is not as bad as it used to be.
It ain't.
Now,
That's
what
true.
I will say about Payless is sometimes Payless gets beside itself with some of these prices. I know you got a couple Christian Siriano bags in here, but bitch, this ain't real leather. I
That's
ain't
true.
paying $40 for this. Relax. But
Very true.
Payless is good for a cute BOGO. They're good for everything in the store 30% off, or these type of shoes is 30% off. If you need yourself a good basic flat,
What?
you need yourself some non-slip shoes for your serving job, or when you side hustle, or
Yep.
if
You gonna need some socks.
If
And you
you
probably
want-
gonna need some earrings.
if
Might
you
as well get 'em
need
while you in there.
some tall boots, for the winter, not nothing too special, but you need yourself some tall boots, and you're not trying to bust your head for them. Payless is your spot. Okay.
You know what else is You know what else Payless is really good for?
What's that?
Finding you some shoes for a CVS trip.
Girl, shut up.
It's
I
a
can't-
quick trip to CVS. That's all I gotta do. I gotta go to CVS. I may need to run by the bank, but I need me some. When I need me some running errand shoes, Payless.
Listen, and the thing is about the basic flat is like the little flats that they have there. Those are good shoes, to keep in your car when you leaving the club, and you need
Yep.
some flats to get up out them hills. Or even if it's just like I be at work all day. I ain't trying to do too much. I just need me some little $15 flats for while I'm at work. I mean, like I ain't necessarily saying that you should be hitting the red carpet and the shits, but
I mean, you
Payless shoes
could, but I
have their
wouldn't.
place. Payless shoes have their place, and a lot of people like to be all uppity, like we ain't all ate off the Payless rack before.
Right.
Especially for somebody like
Keisha
me.
Cole has no problem going there.
Listen, y'all remember when they had Star Jones? Look,
Listen.
okay. So I mean, but the thing is, especially for people like me who I got big ass feet, and so sometimes. At least I know Payless gonna have my size. Now I know that these ain't gonna be no fancy flats, these ain't gonna be no good flats, but these will hold me over till my Steve Madden's come in from DSW.
Yes.
Listen,
Payless is where Keisha Cole goes for all of her concert wear.
all of her fashions.
And it's where Michelle Williams goes all the time for her church. Her
Her church flats. She can go get her white Easter flats there.
Or when she need to run by Joanne Fabrics for them pillows she made for righteousness.
Michelle, if you listening to this, which you probably
Ain't.
don't marry that man.
Don't, please.
Run.
Ooh, don't marry that man.
Please.
Girl, strap on them
Lord.
easy strides and run the fuck about that marriage. Please.
Beyonce, Kelly, Solange, can you hear me? Help her.
We all need to sit around a table and sing Girl to her. Girl.
First of all, Beyonce know that Michelle passed her help because she doing reality TV. Okay. Beyonce like, I can't even help you, sis, because you're going to have to try to have a camera in my face. And how that's going to work when you talking to a blur?
How that's gonna work? So yeah, do not be fooled. Run by your nearest Payless with a coupon and see what you can do for yourself. Now again, we ain't telling you to go up there and fill up your whole closet with it, but you can find yourself a little 1-2 step in there.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to quit acting like we ain't all shopping at the Payless. Like we ain't all got a couple shirts and pieces from the rainbow. You bitches are not above it. Stop
Right.
it.
You ain't.
If these big ass mega superstars can be out here stunting in they Fashion Nova, which is not no high brand store, okay? You shouldn't be ashamed of your Payless, sis.
Don't be ashamed of your policy.
Yo,
It's policy, sis. Policy.
Don't be ashamed of your policy.
I'm telling you, because you know what? In these trying times where people's money is tight, we need to be able to stretch our dollar as far as we can. And everybody
Amen.
can't go and get no Steve Maddens. Everybody can't go and wear who got expensive shoes. Everybody ain't wearing Gucci. Everybody ain't wearing Louboutins. And when it comes to a basic shoe, especially if you shopping for shoes for them little fucking rugrats.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Nigga, I think that kids clothing in general is just an overall scam because the little niggas grow out of it in 20 minutes. So why are you
Right.
gonna waste your time and your money buying little Delaquan some fucking
Right.
J's when you can buy yourself some J's and get these niggas the Spider-Mans and the Batmans?
Thank you. Take your ass over to Payless for them kids. Get you some Ferragamo and some Jimmy Choos for yourself.
And then when you get them, still going to Payless and get yourself a basic black flat. So when you take them hoes off, because you in the hood, you're like, nah, they gonna get me for my shoes. You can tuck them in your purse and you can wear your Paylesses.
Boom. Amen.
Hallelujah. All right. Moving on. Let's talk about. Oh, we said that we were gonna do. Let's talk about Mark Lamont Hill. We should have did that next because that's a little upsetting.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
This one is yours, Lloyd.
So sorry, I'm trying to pull up the article that I had pulled up, but then I went to the Palessi website to see what they were talking about.
Is there a Palessi website? I'm about to look.
The sister needs some new black.
If they got a website and you can buy shit online, I will fucking die.
I was talking about the actual Payless website, but I'm now forever gonna call it Palessi. So fuck you, hoes. It's gonna be like Tarjay and Wally World for me.
It's just gonna be Palessi.
It's Palessi. Where you going, Palessi? Garvey needs some new shoes. Palessi. That's where we at. Okay, so y'all remember Mark Lamont Hill? He's wrote a couple books. You normally see him on CNN, MSNBC as a political contributor. Well, today he got that pink slip from CNN for his pro-Palestine comments. Now, your play cousin Lloyd ain't gonna sit up here in front with you like I completely understand what's going on with the whole Israel-Palestine stuff, but I'm gonna give you my basic understanding is that the Palestinians was there first, and then the Israeli came and was like, God told us that this was our land, and you niggas gotta go, and that's basic.
Allow me to step in just a smidge. It's a little bit
The,
deeper than that.
the government, the government gave that to him.
Yeah. So what happened was, and it was actually it was today is the anniversary as a record because I remember seeing it on my Being homepage. But essentially, Palestine has been Palestine for as long as Palestine has been Palestine. That area is holy land, and it is holy land for at least 2 to 3 religions. And so there's a lot of bucking back and forth between the religions about who owns it. Now, historically, Palestine and the mostly people of Muslim faith have been in that land and are present in that land due to ancient wars when Muslims came through and kicked everybody's ass. Ancient history. We're not going to go there today. But what ended up
that's not what this show's about.
Yeah,
we just want to give you some basic understanding.
But if you do want to know something, if you do want to get a little bit of information on that, you can find, I'm going to find his name. I'll give you the name of the podcast. But anyway, so in what year was it? It was like after the Holocaust. I can't remember exactly what the story, but anyway, the government came together and decided that they are going to give Israel a part of Palestine as a nation. So they just decided, hey, this part of this here is y'all's. And so since Israel has been a country, they've done nothing but do what people do. Tip white people, Jewish people, but white people nonetheless do. They go around and oppress the darkest person they can find.
Yep.
And so in Palestine, it's horrific conditions. I mean, just a plethora of things. If you have the time, really Google up on the Israel-Palestine. I don't even want to call it war, but you know, it's really horrible and it's awful, and Palestine deserves all the things. But
it's pretty much a fucking genocide. Like, they out there killing niggas at random. Just cause.
Excuse me, the name of the show is Dan Carlin's Hardcore History.
Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. I'm actually
Dan Carlin with a C. Carlin. Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. He does very, very, very... Now, I'm going to tell you this now. Every episode that he does is long as fuck. And when I say long as fuck, like longer than the black guy who tips. Like 3-hour-long episodes. But they're very informative. They're all about history. And I just break them up into sections. And he doesn't come out with shows very often. But when he comes, like, the last show that he came out with was July 14th of 2018. But that show was 4.5 hours long.
Ooh, child.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
I mostly listen to it like while I'm at work, or I just listen to it in sections. But he has some really good series. He did a series on World War I and World War II. He did really good. He did another really good one on what's the name of like Genghis Khan. He did. They're amazing. So if you have some time, which I mean, go ahead and listen to those. But anyway, Mark Lamont Hill.
So basically, he got the pink slip from CNN today over a speech that he delivered at a UN meeting, which was specifically what they're calling pro-Palestine. But the comment that got him in trouble was basically Mark Lamont Hill called for a free Palestine from the river to the sea. And the issue with that statement is apparently it's used by militant groups, one that I just learned the name of, Hamas. And forgive me if I'm saying this wrong, because like I said, your girl's not gonna sit here in front like she really knows everything. But Mark Lamont is basically that's like a dog whistle to Jewish people of like, calling for their mass genocide, et cetera, et cetera. So that's basically what got him fired. At least that's the comment that they are focusing on. Now, 10 seconds ago, before our Instagram refreshed, I had all the tweets with his full comments. And when I read through them, he was basically saying that they shouldn't be able to treat people like this, and they need to find out a resolution that's actually, works for the Palestinian people because they're dying. They don't have hospitals. He said a lot of shit.
I put the link in the docket for you.
That's why you my whole bitch. Now I got to pull up the docket because,
You closed it. Well, what I will say in Mark Lamont, because he probably shouldn't have used that, and before you just go off running off with people's slogans, you should definitely Google it and make sure that slogan is not attached to some horrendous shit. But I will say that slogan is a good fucking slogan. That's a good one. When you said that, I was like, ooh, free Palestine from the river to the sea. Turn up. That's a good slogan. They got some good PR people.
That sounds like a Negro spiritual.
If we have any Jewish play cousins who might understand the implications of why that shit is so horrible to say, please feel free to send us an email at hwap.podcast@gmail.com and break it down to us, because we recognize that we can always learn.
And then also, if we have any Palestinian, preferably Palestinian, because it seems like Israel is on the wrong side of this in history, but we'll take the opinions of anybody who knows anything about it. Anything about it. If you guys want to send us some links, we're more than welcome. We're more than happy to read up on it.
I don't see any link, but if you have it pulled up, you can feel free to just read through it.
I'm sorry.
I don't see it
on
on the docket.
Give me 1 second. I think I accidentally deleted it. There you go.
God damn it.
I'm sorry. I was cleaning off the docket. Go ahead. That last one under Mark Lamont Hill. That's it.
Copy.
Also, listen, just to add something, little thing, it is not anti-Semitism to call people out on killing innocent people.
Oh yeah,
just saying that, because I've had people come at me on Twitter saying I was being anti-Semitic by calling out what's going on in Palestine. No, boo. Don't nobody got a problem with you being Jewish. Don't nobody give a fuck about where you from, your religion, and all of that. Okay, we respect that. We understand that. Ain't nobody bothering you about that. We bothering y'all about the fact that y'all okay with killing innocent people who were there and was minding their own damn business.
We have a problem with y'all bombing fucking Palestine and having your people sit up on mountains and watch the shit like it's a motion picture. We do have problems with shit like that.
Okay, so I pulled up the tweets. Mark Lamont Hill at Mark Lamont Hill on Twitter, if you want to follow him and read it for yourself. He said, in my speech, I talked about the need to return to the pre-1967 borders to give full rights to Palestinian citizens of Israel and to allow the right of return. No part of this is a call to destroy Israel. It's absurd on its face. I believe in full rights for all citizens. I believe in safety for all citizens. I believe in self-determination for all citizens. This is not an anti-Semitic position. While I have my own beliefs about one versus the two-state solutions, I prefer one. It is not my job as an outsider to decide for Palestinians or Israelis. Regardless of the resolution, I hate this shit, however, Palestinians cannot be denied freedom, self-determination, or human rights. I don't really agree with much things this nigga says, but that seems pretty reasonable. And that's pretty much the gist of it, because it's not letting me go to the next tweet and I ain't about to look.
Like if you have a problem with somebody saying, hey, we should respect these people and they should have human rights and they shouldn't be getting killed in the goddamn streets, like slaughtered like some animals.
And we shouldn't be bombing the few hospitals that they have.
Right. So if you have a problem with that, I got to tell you, you might be on the wrong side of the issue. Just
Absolutely.
FYI.
As a matter of fact, as we talk about this, I'm looking up, trying to see if I just looked up Palestine on my
But like I said,
oh.
only Jewish people or people of, Israeli people are going to understand why that's a dog whistle. Kind of like that one, now the senator of Mississippi, which we all knew she was going to win, whatever that bitch's name was, when she said if he invited me to a public hanging, I'd be there. Shit.
Oh,
that
Lady Klansman.
Yeah, that one. Mm-hmm. Her real name don't even matter. Y'all could Google it. She just won senator's Mississippi against a black guy who was running. His last name is Espy. I really cannot think of her name though. But she had said something while she was on her press tour that, most white people won't even blink twice at or think about, but us black people or a person of color, we understand anytime you say lynch, it's uncomfortable for us. It's a dog whistle to us. So I'm not saying that particular line of from the river to the sea didn't disturb people or you shouldn't be mad about it, because I recognize that I ain't got a right to tell nobody how to feel about shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying the rest of the sentiment seems pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And I ain't even the one that came from Mark Lamont Hill, because this is the same nigga that was talking about, that Hillary Clinton and that orange fucking peach fuzz y'all call the president is two sides of the same coin, and how the Green Party will be better, et cetera, et cetera. I ain't forgot, my nigga. I ain't forgot. So I'm not even the one to sit up here and cape for him. Nah. I just don't think this is something. Well, I don't. You know what? I don't know how many Jewish people are funding CNN, and that's probably why he got fired. Let's just be real. But hey, my opinion is most of what he said was cool. It was just that one line, which he probably didn't understand the context of in its entirety, that got him fucked up. Thoughts, ladies?
And I would just like to say that CNN had no problem with hiring Steve Bannon and Corey Lewandowski, but you gonna fire Mark Lamont Hill over? Okay.
I mean,
I have
two of the most
that I want to say about
most
that.
hateful ass niggas in the world.
I'm gonna keep that in my heart because I don't know if that's in. So I don't know
Good
much
choices.
about Listen, sometimes you just gotta shut up because you don't know if what I'm about to say. I don't know if it's the wrong thing to say, and I'm not sure. So I prefer to shut up about it. I don't really know.
Look, Play Cousins, I want you to listen to what Ray just said. I don't know if that's the wrong thing or the right thing, but I recognize I don't know enough, so I'm gonna shut up about it. You can always say that about anything. You can literally say, I don't know enough to have an opinion.
Yeah. So all I know is that from everything that I'm understanding and from everything that I've seen, it seems like Palestine is the side of this conflict that I agree with. I admit that I haven't done much research about it, but you can be damn sure probably by the next episode, if I can become obsessed enough with it, I'll be a fucking scholar in 2 weeks. Because my Google game is strong, and now that I'm back in school, I have access to all of those documents, and that's the
like
one
nigga,
thing.
I got my PhD in this subject.
I mean, when I was in my undergrad, I studied history, so I know how to get some answers, and I know how to find some stuff, and I know exactly where to look. And y'all know how I get down. I'll know some shit about some shit if you give me the time to really, really, really look it up. But all I can say as far as like with how CNN is handling this, I understand why they did it, and from a PR standpoint, it was the correct thing to do, because I mean, can't no motherfucker be on there. I wouldn't accept if somebody was on CNN talking about separate but equal, and citing the 14 words from the Proud Boys, and I'm just like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. So I understand why they did it, but CNN, I mean, I don't know. I have a complicated relationship with all of the media nowadays, because over the last couple of days, every time that I've watched the news, I feel like I'm watching like wrestling. Like, have you ever watched a wrestling? Because I have a friend who watches wrestling, and like before the match, they're like arguing in like a back room.
Yeah, they talking
somewhere.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what the news is, where it's like, we're going to bring in this nonsensical asshole to talk to this semi-sensical asshole, and y'all are going to argue it out, and nothing's going to be resolved.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not to be that person and sound pretentious and be an asshole.
Okay.
But I mean, I would say watch BBC or like Al Jazeera.
Yeah.
They're more
You know,
objective.
because it's not they shit, so they can be objective.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck about
They
none
don't
of
have to
this. Y'all
live.
suck.
Like we stopped giving a fuck about you, Nick. BBC like we stopped giving a fuck about y'all in 1776.
Bitches.
But cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I understand why they did it, but CNN is sus. So yeah, I don't. That's all I got to say. CNN is sus. I'm looking at you funny, but I understand why you did it.
I mean, I'm just at a point now where I recognize I can't really fuck with. We live in a world now where TMZ is more fucking credible than CNN.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because I remember, and it hasn't been that long that this has been that way. But TMZ is really becoming a more credible source than CNN and sometimes MSNBC too. I mean, because we already know Fox News ain't about shit. So I'm not even going to pretend like they haven't been credible in about a decade.
Listen, did y'all see that clip going around how Ted Koppel called out, what's that nigga's name? Sean Hannity on his own show?
Ooh, no.
Oh, no. We got time though, sis. What happened?
So I hope everybody know who Ted Koppel is. Famous news anchor, journalist. Okay. He's very respected. He's a respectable journalist because he's honest as fuck and he does his best to tell you the truth. So he's very highly revered in the journalism world. So he was on Sean Hannity for whatever reason. I'm not sure when this aired, but it was a clip going around on the internet. And Sean Hannity asked him flat out, he said, you think that this show and shows like that, or you think that our show is bad for American people? And Ted Koppel said, yeah, like flat out. And he said, and then Sean Hannity started with his fake, rhetoric bullshit. And he said, I think that you're selling the American people short. I think that the American people know the difference between the news and what's the truth. And you're selling the people short. So why do you think that? And so Ted Koppel said that, he said, you're very good at attracting people. He said, you've become very good at attracting people who believe that ideology is more important than facts.
Ooh, Chillay.
Woo.
Look that clip up, because Sean was
my computer just froze on my shit. Let me go to my phone.
Sean was
my computer acting a fool.
And Ted Koppel, he got a smooth ass voice, man. He said it's so smooth. He said, because you're very good. You're very good. And I was like, man.
He shaded that nigga in the best way. The type of shade where nigga got to think about it before they realize the shade. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Sean was sorry.
Do y'all remember a little while back when we was talking about that chart, and it like listed most of the major news sources and about how biased they are? It was like on a grid of how liberal or conservative it leans versus how I'm trying to think of the best way to
Venn
put
diagram.
Yeah,
that was my favorite.
Well, it's not really a Venn diagram. It's like a big square chart, and it's like a what is it called? A plot with the dot chart. Oh my God, this is how you know.
The one I saw was a Venn diagram, and it was just like circle over here liberal, circle over here conservative. The intersection circles.
Let me send this to you. But it's a chart that shows like all of the media, most of the major media in the world, and it puts it on a chart of how biased it is as far as leaning liberal or leaning conservative, and then also the overall quality of its reporting as far as if it just reports facts or if it contains all the way down from reporting. It starts at the top with reporting facts all the way down to contains inaccurate or fabricated info. And so it has things like Associated Press, it has everything from the Associated Press, NPR, BBC, CNN, all the way down to the New York Post, InfoWars, what else is on here? Daily Kos, New Republic, Huffington Post, Mother Jones, all of that. And so CNN on here is in the quadrant of it leans liberal or skews liberal, mostly neutral, but skews liberal. It, as far as quality overall reporting, it is just on the line between fair persuasion and selective or incomplete story. Unfair persuasion.
You said Fox News?
No, this is CNN.
Oh, CNN. Okay.
Versus Fox News. Fox News is all the way down it leans all the way right into conservative, and the section they put it in is hyper partisan conservative, and it's just inside of the box of unfair interpretation of the news. And it's just into the red box of nonsense damaging to the public discourse.
It's on the same level as fucking InfoWars.
Yeah, it's in the same like kind of box as InfoWars and the Daily Wire. But then, and I think that this chart is fair. Funny enough, the name of the article is called "How Biased Is Your News Source?" You probably won't agree with this chart.
Mm-hmm.
But I started using this chart to vet some of the websites that I get my news from, because I am very well aware of the fact, of course, being a history major, that you do have to cite you have to check into the biases that come in, the motivations of whoever writes whatever. And for a long time, I always thought that, CNN was a little bit more fair. I knew MSNBC was a little bit more, leaned to liberal. And of course, like Fox News is conservative, but like I always thought that, like I'm trying to look at one that I'm trying to look to see which ones I was surprised with. Like I was actually surprised to see how far left the Huffington Post is, because it's like hyperpartisan liberal is where they have it listed at, which I was like, oh, okay. And it's even further to the left than MSNBC. And so now after reading this chart, I have a tendency to stick more towards Reuters, Associated Press, Bloomberg, ABC News, CBC. Just based off of this chart, all the things that fall the closest into the middle are typically things that I watch or that I try and make sure that I find my news from, because it's, according to this chart, it's the least biased. And since then, I found that I've been able to more accurately form my own opinions about things. Instead of, oh, well, it said in, Time Magazine, this, and that, I can say, like, okay, well, the places that I get this from are, like, the Associated Press and Reuters, and they don't really lean one way or another. They're high up when they just report the straight-up facts, and you can feel how you want to feel, but this is the truth.
My niggas BBC in there.
Yeah, BBC, they are in the neutral. They lean left, but a little bit left. They're not full on skews liberal, but they're like neutral, but a little bit to the left, and they're still very high into the box of they report facts. So if you guys want to look it up, it's on Market Watch if you want to check out your news sources and see what your news sources are looking for. I mean, and that's if you're interested in unbiased news, because I understand sometimes we just want to see what liberals have to say because we're sick of the conservative shit. I get it. So, but yeah, if you really want to give informed opinions and you want to make sure that you're not giving it with a whole lot of bias, then that's a good chart to watch. Next, let's talk about Michelle Obama's book, shall we?
Hey.
First things first. Why ain't nobody bought it for me yet? I'm talking to my husband. Somebody tell my husband to buy it for me. The fuck you waiting on?
All right. Okay, because I was like, I ain't what?
I don't know that, ma'am.
All right.
So, yeah. I might get it on Audible. You know what? I'm not gonna get it on Audible, because if one of you bitches get on my Amazon and kind of lose my place in the book, I'm gonna cuss y'all out. I do plan on reading Michelle Obama's book. I just really don't have the time for any extra books at the moment. I've heard good things about it, though, and I've heard some of the spicier tidbits of what's been discussed.
Yeah, she was throwing some shade, apparently.
I mean, she has the right, though. Like one tidbit that I saw was when she said that she would never forgive Trump for the way that he propelled
the birther shit.
Yeah, he propelled the birther movement, and the way that it overall put her family in danger, and really it was just super duper disrespectful. She said she snuck out of the house the night that marriage equality was passed. What else did she say in the book? She talked a lot about her marriage to Barack, and just how they met, and how the interaction was between them, and how when he first asked to date her, she was like, no nigga, because it's corny for the two black people in the firm date. He was like, I will quit. Okay. I will quit. I can go work anywhere. So
yeah,
what's up?
He was on it,
pressing. So I mean, can you blame him?
Right. She also said when she met him, he was a whole person, a complete person. John Gray.
Biatch.
Lord, I'm not even gonna say that for my tea.
So yeah,
All
guys,
right.
if you guys want to buy us the book, we're always accepting gifts. I mean,
Always.
if not, then you can just support the Patreon. We appreciate it. And hopefully at some point one of us will get around to reading the book and we can pass it around like the Sister Wives book club. That'd be
That's a
fun.
good name for a book club.
So, I mean, is that a show that's coming up on our next network? Maybe, maybe not. Let's keep it moving. Let's see. Let's get into the real. Oh, let's get into some petty shit. You want to be petty?
Yay.
I live for petty. What's up?
So, as y'all know, all three of us at some point in our lives lived in the city of Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
And if you have ever lived in Cincinnati, then you are very much so familiar with Victor Cousins.
Oh shit, we got to. Ooh, child. I'm sorry, I meant ooh, Chillay.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all tell this story because y'all know I'm a godless heathen.
Hold on. I gotta make sure I pull it back.
He
up.
was my bishop.
Lord, that explains so much about you.
It is. And you know what's so funny? Wait, I'm
Wait,
gonna let you
tell the
say
sto-
what's
tell
going
the
on
story.
first.
Tell the story.
So Victor Cousins is a bishop at one of, I don't want to say it's one of the biggest churches in Cincinnati because I don't be churching that often, so I could definitely be wrong.
See,
It's
at
pretty
all.
fucking huge.
See,
It's
at all.
pretty-
She don't be churching at all. Be honest with
Okay.
yourself.
I do bedside Baptist every time, on Sundays when the BET be playing, then I forgot to turn it off. Oh, he resigned, did he?
No. Go on.
Well, basically, he's a bishop at this church. I want to say is it the City of Destiny Church? What is it?
No, it's the International Inspirational Baptist Church.
Cute. It's a good church from what I'm told. But basically, his side chick just upped and outed him because he just got engaged to somebody else. And she like, I bet you the fuck won't.
I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
And it's just so funny. The only reason we're reporting on it is because, we're from Cincinnati and I don't know him, but a lot of people who I am friends with and associate, the ones that do be churching on a regular basis, know him and know of him.
Girl,
And that's
mess
why
at
Chris
the
is
church.
over here cackling, bruh.
Mess the church.
My apologies. It is City of Destiny. It's Inspirational Baptist Church, and then it's / City of Destiny.
He was destined to get exposed. You thought like shit, you trick ass bitch. How you gonna be?
Man.
Okay, so
But you know what? His sermons were on point though. Like he wasn't from.
That's because he was out there living in the sin. He knows.
Listen, from what I had listened to, I don't ever remember him being sexist, homophobic, like nothing trash. Where I was like, this nigga is tripping.
well,
So
I
I'll
mean, in his
give him
defense,
credit for
he's
that.
just being a nigga. So all things considered, he's unfaithful. But niggas, especially niggas in the church. Can we let's talk, cousins? Okay. Now
Yeah,
Let me
niggas
be
in
real for a
church.
second.
let's be
Can
real.
we-
Okay, let's be honest. Okay. Now, as we all know, I am a godless heathen. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Absolutely.
unlike most other godless heathens in my coven, I did not ever experience what they are calling church hurt. I did not leave the church or leave Christianity or any other religion that I grew up in because something tragic happened to me at church or I had a bad experience. I've just never really believed the shit. Okay? Ever since I was little, it ain't never curled all the way over to me. And so after a certain point, I was just like, you know what? I'm good. No, I'm good. So I say that just to say that, I'm not coming here to shit on the church or hate on the church. I believe that for the most part, the church is good for people. It does a lot of good for people. My mother has joined a church, and I think her church is fucking awesome. They have a great choir.
Oh, girl, but I'm not done yet.
Oh, shit, my bad. Girl, go ahead.
There's more.
There's more. I thought that.
So,
Hold on, wait.
CPD is looking for them for aggravated harassment because basically he has been blackmailing Shawty, basically saying, I'm going to put out your pictures that you sent me unless you deny that we had a relationship. Ooh, Chillay. Now you can go on. Sorry, I just needed to get that out before I forgot.
Wow, that actually changes everything I was about to say.
What were
Okay,
you about
go
to
ahead.
say?
Because I was about to say, you know what? We are all of the flesh, and the flesh is weak. But you know what? You over here
homegirl is
telling-
saying that she's not the only woman he's done that to, and there have been other women who have stepped up to say he's done the same thing.
No, I don't know. Maybe I'm a different type of hoe. But you can't threaten me. You can't threaten me where I'm going to put your nudes out. Because I'm going to just send you the ones I want you to put out. My shit's flawless. My shit looks good. Bitch.
Right, and I ain't got nothing to lose, nigga. You a bishop.
Not me. I ain't. Nigga, look.
You go ahead, put them out. Everybody know I'm a hoe. Listen,
I just want go and put them out. God know I got pretty titties. Go on.
listen,
Send them the one with
Listen.
me in the heels. That's sexy. Put that one out.
go ahead, show them damn pictures. See what you got blessed with, nigga.
Listen here. Let me tell you. You ain't gonna do shit but make my stock rise. You put my shit out. So what's really up?
So,
But Lord, the girl. I
a
was
woman
just
who
going-
is pressing charges. Her name is Andrea Garrison. Cousins' only response, Bishop Cousins, that is, only response is
that whole line.
sex.
That bitch lying like a motherfucker.
He basically said that, but in a churchy way, which is my favorite. When pastors be telling you some bullshit in a churchy way, that's my favorite. Like I enjoy it because I be looking like rolling my eyes like no. But he said, what did he? So you made me lose my price.
I'm sorry.
That while the place. He said, while the sexual exploitation of women in the church is one of the tremendous concern in the body of Christ, Garrison is not a victim. But he has not answered any questions for interviews. And basically, CPD, the charge was filed in New York, so NYPD is also looking for that ass. And
Well, I
just
can
want to know
tell
what
you
God-
that.
What would God think?
Listen,
What would
he just
Jesus do?
posted on Facebook 51 minutes ago. Wait, hold on. It's 2 hours ago. And it was, he said, I've never been a Cowboys fan, but they are giving the Saints some problems this evening. So this nigga is chilling. They looking for him.
That's funny.
He chilling.
I mean, he didn't say where he was watching it at. He could be watching it from a bunker, my nigga.
This is hilarious. I am friends with him on Facebook.
You said,
This is
what would God
hilarious.
say? God would say, ooh, Chillay. Scandal in the church,
Chillay.
child. Ooh, Chillay.
This is hilarious.
30-year-old me
This
is
is
gonna
crazy.
leave it alone. But if this was 21-year-old Lordy, I would be like, what did God say about that woman that says you blackmailing her? I need to know. Are we going to talk about that in Bible study?
This is so messy. Oh my God. I think I like him a little bit more now, but like besides the blackmail.
How you like, girl? Well, I
Chillay.
guess, Lord,
Besides like the blackmail and the revenge porn thing,
outside of that,
that's outside of that. Like I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I knew when I first met you, I kind of fucks with you. All right, I see what you're doing now. You acting like a nigga. Because he called me a nigga the first time we met in the church. Yes.
Well, I mean,
That's why I liked him so much. I was like, oh, I'm coming back.
I'll be back.
He
not
said
that that's
he
all
was,
it takes.
he came up. We were introducing ourselves at the end of the service, and
Oh, God,
I
hate
forgot
that
who introduced me
fucking
to
part.
him.
My God, that's almost as bad as if you were a visitor. Stand up. No.
No, well, yeah, but so whoever I was with, I forgot. They were like, "Yeah, this is my friend Crystal. This is her first time visiting." He was like, "Okay, how you doing?" Gave me a hug, dapped me up. He was like, "Where you from?" I said, "I'm from Cleveland." He said, "Oh, y'all niggas," and then he walked away.
Damn, son.
I said, "I'm coming back every fucking Sunday."
You ain't been back since, have you?
I can't. No, I did. I went for a while. Like I was riding with people. We were a group, and then like I just was like, I'm tired of going to church because I don't like waking up in the morning, so I just didn't go one morning. And then from there, it just never went. But that was my nigga though. I liked him.
That's funny.
So no, I was just trifling.
All right. And the last but not least, our most celebratory story of the night. It's about to go down. So,
Oh, sorry. I was doing the music for you.
I was at work, minding my own goddamn business, right?
Living my best life.
Not my best because I was at work, but I was living life nonetheless. But I was at work, and I saw big up on my banner because I use Microsoft Edge while I'm at work. And so whenever you click up the homepage, it has like all the news. And whenever something like big is happening, it'll flash real big and red on the banner. And it said on the banner that Cohen admits to lying to Congress.
Tell him.
Hallelujah. So naturally, I clicked because that I had to know what was going on. So apparently, well, just to refresh everybody's memory, Michael Cohen was, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was his former lawyer. And he is one of the major players who was in the collusion with Russia case, right?
Yeah. You got it.
So, Michael Cohen, President Trump's former lawyer, pled guilty to lying to Congress. By the way, this is coming from the New York Times. Check the chart; it's halfway decent. Leans a little liberal, but all things considered. Pleads guilty to lying to Congress about plans to build a tower for Mr. Trump in Russia. That mission is the latest twist in the one-time Trump loyalists' deteriorating relationship with the president. Trump is involved in discussions over a potential Russian business deal during the presidential campaign than previously known. His former lawyer, Michael D. Cohen, said Thursday in pleading guilty to lying to Congress that the associates pursued the project as the Kremlin was escalating its election sabotage effort meant to help him win the presidency. Trump's participation in discussions about building a grand skyscraper in Moscow showed how the interests of his business empire were enmeshed in political ambitions as he was closing in on the Republican nomination for president. During the early months of 2018, when the business discussions were taking place, he was publicly pressing for warmer relations with the United States and Russia and an end to economic sanctions imposed by the Obama administration. Policy positions might have benefited his family business. Court documents made public by the special counsel Robert S. Mueller III detailed new accusations against Mr. Cohen, the president's former fixer, who already pled guilty this year to committing campaign finance violations and financial crimes. Excuse me 1 second, let me yell at my dog. Okay.
She really wanted to do that shit too.
Yeah, I just turned around to yell at her real quick. Mr. Cohen was the point person at the Trump Organization for negotiating a deal for the Moscow project, and on Thursday he admitted to lying to congressional investigators about the duration of the negotiations and the extent of the involvement of Trump, who is identified in the court documents as Individual 1. After pleading guilty in Manhattan courtroom on Thursday morning, Mr. Cohen said that he made the false statements to Congress out of loyalty to the president to align with Trump's political messaging. Cohen's cooperation with the special counsel's investigation raises the possibility that he might have information about the central focus of the inquiry, whether Trump or any of his other associates conspired with Russia's effort to disrupt the 2016 election. And it is the second time that Mr. Cohen has imperialed the presidency. Give me a second.
You saying paralyzed?
It's IMPER. Hold on, because I'm pulling up dictionary.com. IMPERILED. Imperil. Oh, imperiled. Imperiled. Whatever. Fuck. You know what I mean. To put in peril or in danger. Okay, imperiled. I see now. Impaired the presidency. He said in court in New York in August that Trump directed hush money campaigns during the 2016 campaign to conceal potential sex scandals. For all the people that are keeping track, that's the shit that went on with Stormy Daniels. Trump Tower discussions were occurring as Russia ramped up its sabotage campaign. The information provided on Thursday by Mr. Cohen showed, though the documents do not say whether any of Trump's advisors were aware of the Russian disruption effort. According to the grand jury indictment made public this year, Russian intelligence operatives hacked the emails of Hillary Clinton that same month. Obscure professor who Mr. Mueller's team had identified likely cut out for Russian intelligence began courting a Trump campaign aide, George Papadopoulos. And it just goes on from there. On and on and on. It's a good it's a good catch up for everybody who's forgotten all the shit and exactly how deep this goes. This article is called Cohen Pleads Guilty and Details Trump's Involvement in Moscow Tower Project at the New York Times, if you'd like to keep going. Thoughts?
This is hilarious.
I mean, okay. I don't care.
Why did I think that you was going to say this right here? It's my
It's my
swag. I'm sorry. The wine's kicking in. I just want to say that as excited as I want to be about this, I won't be excited until they are carting this ugly motherfucker off in handcuffs.
Yep.
I also want to say that I'm not necessarily sure how I feel about this because I really don't want for Mike Pence to be president either.
Oh my gosh! Like, this is a lose-lose regardless. Like,
yeah.
oh.
I also want to say that I read on a news article that there's like some asteroids that are potentially like at risk of hitting the Earth, and I wish they would just bring their motherfucking ass. But they have to come after we finish Game of Thrones and the new Lion King comes out. And
then also Bill Gates said that there might be a disease coming up that could kill 30 million people in the next about 10. I think he said like 10 years.
That's great. I needed to happen. Game of Thrones needs to end. I need to see the new Lion King. I need closer seats to Beyonce. And last thing, what did I say? Game of Thrones. Oh, and I need to see how the Avengers ends. After that, we can die. I'm fine.
Bitch, let me tell you something.
Well, I
sat
personally
down
can't
and watched
wait.
Ant-Man and the Wasp just so I could try to figure out the answers to the motherfucking Avengers, and I don't have it, and I'm mad. Sorry.
Listen, I don't mind. Listen, take me now. I'm done. They have recalled vegetables. Like, what the fuck? Take me now. I'm done. And it's because of this nigga too, because he fucking recalled, I think he recalled like the funding for the agriculture department or something like that. They explained it and how he took back the funding for the clean water so the fucking vegetables could be in clean water.
It was something to the effect of he cut funding, and one of the major things that affected is the ability to test certain items before they hit the market for the rest of us.
And test like the
clean
water
shit.
Yeah.
And the clean water shit. So, everything's killing us. But as a Black person, you kind of already have that. So I'm gonna go live my best life. I just want to first of all thank God. I also want to thank Satan.
Okay.
I see you doing your best work.
Working
I want to
overtime.
thank all those paralegals doing the hard work for Robert Mueller. I want to thank Robert Mueller for, even though you are a bitch ass Republican and part of the reason that Hillary lost, for doing your best job here. I want to thank the 53% of white women that voted for him. JK, fuck y'all hoes forever. All right. That's all I got.
So,
I've
been listening. I promise I have. But can I read y'all something real quick? Because this really just blew my mind. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wait, all right. Did you want to say something else regarding this before because I'm really about to take this shit left.
No,
nope,
I'm scared.
Let's go left.
No, I said
mean,
okay
like
that
you
'cause I'm
know
scared.
when somebody turns left and then they knock your head up against the window, they turn so fucking hard. That's what this is about to be. Okay,
Uh-oh.
y'all are not ready.
Oh,
Violet Beauregard should have won Walker's Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
So
What?
I was scrolling through the face of have you seen Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory?
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Okay. You know you're Jamaican. Sometimes you don't know shit.
Look,
Bitch,
that was one thing I did get.
Listen, because I was
But I'm
about to
trying to
say,
understand why they
bitch,
think Violet, that spoiled, egg-headed son of a
I'm about
bitch,
to
deserves
say,
to win.
bitch, because I was with you in Kroger when you found out the avocados was called avocados. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Man, she eats porridge.
Porridge.
Okay. Jamaica's
She
called
eats
avocado
porridge.
pears.
Listen, she was like, oh, so these are called avocados. I'm like, bitch, what you been calling them?
Pears. 'Cause that's what they're called. Okay? Fight me.
Ain't no goddamn pear.
They not even sweet like pears. None of the shit that you bought that was
How you
pear
gonna
flavored
take-
tasted like an
Don't
avocado.
take the name for something else.
Ask Jamaican people. I don't know.
Okay, I mean, I just sometimes I gotta check because you gotta remember everybody ain't third generation regular American Negro. So, let's read. Have I watched the movie in the last decade or more? No. Do I have an ironclad evidence to support my argument? Yes. By the way, this is by her name is Evanya, Evayna. It's a Tumblr post.
Okay, just spell Beauregard for me so I can Google it.
BeauregardE.
You the best.
Okay, for all those who haven't seen Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, it's a movie about this poor ass little boy named Charlie Buckets who lucks up on a ticket to go into Willy Wonka's weird ass, crazy ass chocolate factory, and he ends up winning because he's pure at heart, and all the other kids that went with him were assholes. It's one of my favorite movies. I love it so much.
It's a phenomenal movie.
Excellent movie. The book is great too. Even though Ronald Dahl hated the movie, but what does he know? He just wrote the book. Anyway. 1, she's the most knowledgeable about candy. She's committed to it and knows her stuff. When Wonka holds up a yellow piece across the room, she recognizes it immediately. She was able to switch candy bars for the sake of the contest, so we know she has personal discipline and is goal-oriented. Also, 2 major projects played directly into her strong suits. The 3-course meal gum that Wonka failed to make safe, and the never-ending gobstopper. What was that? Okay. She's the most fit to run a business. No, number 2, she's the most fit to run a business. Violet is competitive, determined, and hardworking. She's willing to take risks. Her father's a small-town car salesman and a politician, so she could easily pick up knowledge and support from him. Veruca's dad is also a businessman in a compatible market, but it's made very clear that Veruca has no respect or knowledge of business practices or hard work, which is a fair assessment. 3, she's the most sympathetic to the Oompa Loompas. She critiques Veruca when Veruca demands to buy one. More importantly, Wonka has been testing the 3-course meal gum, and that's always go wrong on Oompa Loompa while he presumably just watch. Violet is ready to put herself on the front line instead of treating the Oompa Loompas as disposable, and therefore would be a better boss. Her personality, quote-unquote, flaw is the most fitting for the company. Immortalizing Oompa Loompa song, they say that gum is pretty cool, but not especially acceptable to chew all day. The thing is, we already know that she can stop if she wants because she already did to win the golden ticket. And yeah, she's defensive about the perceived impoliteness of her hobby when her mother tries to shame her about her habit during a televised interview. But the obsession with candy and the neglect of social norms is exactly what Wonka is all about. This is on brand. That's some solid shit. Her misstep in the factory is reasonable. Wonka shows everyone candy he's proud of. Violet's like, oh, sick, that's gum, my special interest. Wonka then pulls a wrong, it's amazing gum. So in the very moments before she takes the gum, Wonka has misled her just to belittle her. So when he's like, I wouldn't do that, why would she give a shit what he has to say? It's not like Charlie over here who's all sure, Gramps, let's stay behind and watch the tour leaves and secretly drink this thing that's been explicitly stated to fill you up with gas so that it's too powerful for safe consumption. Now I'm going to stop there just to say that she probably should have snatched it and chewed on it.
Probably, because that was rude. But
yeah,
hey.
it was very much so rude, and she probably should have listened to him before she just went to go chomp on it. That doesn't absolve her of her responsibility of that, but still. Also, Violet is not selfish about her experience. She tells everyone what she's tasting and feeling, and everyone's eager to hear it. Taking a personal risk to share knowledge with everyone. Violet is Prometheus. Fact. Oh, also, I would like to add that after she just saw 1 or 2 people get fucked up touching shit they wasn't supposed to touch, you think she learned. Augustus contaminates the chocolate river. Charlie sneaks around and contaminates the vent wall. Veruca destroys and disrupts the workplace. Mike knows exactly what will happen to him and transport/shrinks himself deliberately. Violet had no idea what the gum could potentially do to her and cause no harm to anyone or anything but herself. Lastly, can you imagine Charlie filling Wonka's shoes? That passive, naive boy? Violet is already basically Wonka. She's passionate, sarcastic, candy-obsessed, free-thinking, and a total firecracker. She's even better than Wonka because she doesn't endanger others. Violet should have been picked to inherit the chocolate factory. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's some solid shit.
You know, she makes some good arguments, but it's still a no, sis.
I mean...
And here's my one argument, my rebuttal. Her basic argument is that she's already Willy Wonka because she's eccentric and passionate about candy and goes against the norms. But we don't need the same minds. We need different minds. That's why companies fail, because they keep doing the same shit over and over, and the shit gets boring. And that's why Charlie won.
But what is Charlie going to bring to it?
I don't know. He going to have the foresight to not do the shit that he was doing before.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's a solid argument, and I get what she's saying. And I think that, all things considered, if it was an interview, I probably would have picked Violet over Charlie because Charlie's a bitch. But, you know, I was just never really into Charlie in the movie because I always felt like he got away with, like, oh, he's a good person and he has a good heart and he wasn't. Well, you know what? On the other hand, he did pass a test where he wasn't going to trade over that everlasting gobstopper. But we don't know if Violet was going to or not.
Violet was about her paper, and she would have definitely traded that
She
shit in,
definitely
bro.
would have traded that shit in, but you also fucked me over with some gum. So nigga, I think that I deserve to cash in on it. So that was really sorry to saving grace. But I just feel like him not giving up that everlasting gobstopper shouldn't have made him inherit $1 billion business. But what do I know? Ain't nobody giving me shit.
Not a damn thing.
So guys, that was interesting and very fun. I think that's all of our topics. Do any of you guys have anything else y'all want to tack on?
Michelle Williams, don't marry that man. That's not the man for you. Okay. All right.
I can't wait for the Lion Queen to come out with Beyonce.
Hey, yes, nigga. I finally saw the trailer and I'm ready.
So
I'm ready. I'm ready to receive.
I'm ready to cry in the theater.
Like April through June of 2019 is going to be so fucking lit between what's coming out in April, Lydia?
Avengers,
Is it like no
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones comes back. May we finally get to the answer to Thanos, the final. In June now we got Lion King. I really like. I feel like my, my summer set. Oh,
listen, I'm so excited.
leave your crying ass babies at home, okay? If your kid is not like 4 years old and knows how to sit appropriately for at least an hour and 45 minutes, they don't need to come.
Leave them at home. We don't even like your kids. So
We don't.
does anybody have a tea for tried it? Lloyd, you're the only one who put something on the docket for us, so you go first.
Okay, guys. So a couple days ago, one of our favorite Dipset rappers from Dipset finally decided to propose to the mother of his children, whom he has been dating for almost 10 years. And that's not even me, exaggerating. They will literally be celebrating their 10th year in 2019. So Jules Santana finally proposed to Kimbella, which brought, it basically, I don't want to say it broke the internet, but it definitely shook it up a little bit. Like it shook the table, mainly because all the pick-me's came out of nowhere and like, oh my God, this is like the best thing ever. And my real love, if you really love somebody, you should, oh God, we're just so happy. And then, everybody else was just like, okay, sis, that's cute. And yeah. So I got on my Insta Snap, as I am one to do, because Kimbella had put up a post like, when the love is real, you'll wait no matter how long it takes. And people was like really in them comments talking about their relationship goals. And I'm normally one to let people enjoy things, but this was on my heart. So I got on my Insta Snap story and I basically said, look, Kimbella and Jules Santana are a lot of things, but I hope to God they're not your relationship goals. And I'm not going to shame anybody for waiting 10 years for some man to propose, because I've known people who have waited 10 years or 7, 8, 9 years. And I don't necessarily believe that the duration of a relationship tells you what type of marriage you're going to have, because just like I've known people who have waited forever to get married, I know people who have met, dated, and married within less than half a year and have had long, happy marriages. And I know people who were dating 7, 10 years who got divorced a year later. So I don't necessarily think the duration of your relationship is going to tell you what type of marriage you have. And I'm never going to be one to say, oh, you wasn't dating them long enough or your time is too short. But what I will say is you are a whole motherfucking fool if you think them two are relationship goals, specifically Kimbella, because sis, don't you ever sit here and advise other women to wait on no man 10 years. And it ain't even the fact that she waited on a nigga 10 years. It's the fact that she waited on a nigga 10 years through his numerous infidelities, physical abuse, his drug habit, which caused him to lose his teeth. And now he about to go do at least 24 months in somebody's federal prison, if not 20. It all depends on whether or not he decided to go to trial. And that's the shit I just can't stand behind. You're never going to see Lloydia, last name blanked out, put her name behind no shit like that, because that's asinine and silly. So ladies, I hope that you're not striving to be like Kimbella. I hope that you ain't letting no raggedy head, egg-headed son of a bitch nigga drag you around for however many years if that relationship isn't healthy. Basically, all I'm saying is if your relationship is healthy, if y'all been dating for 10 years and it's a healthy relationship and y'all been growing together and doing whatever you got to do and y'all decide y'all want to get married, that's cute. That's cool. I'm not here to judge you for that. But if in that 10 years you've dealt with infidelities, physical abuse, and a nigga losing his teeth, sis, leave. Which also led me to comment about Pastor John Gray, which about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago now, Pastor John Gray was on Sister Circle TV. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically one of those daytime TV shows like The Real, The Talk, The View. It's for women, in this case, Black women. Selena Johnson's on there, Rashawn Ali, some other chick, and Quad from Married to Medicine is also on there. And they had Pastor John Gray come, and he was talking about his relationship and marriage and blah, blah, blah. And like I said, I've still yet to see the full video. I have been searching for it, but I refuse to get cable to watch anything on Sister Circle, which airs on TV One. No. If I can't find it on YouTube, I'm not looking that hard. But basically, the 60-second clip I saw, Pastor John Gray was describing his wife as a coat. He said his literal words was, "I married up. My wife was a coat that was 2 sizes too big for me, and I had to grow into her. My wife has endured more pain in birthing me than she did our 2 children." And Selena Johnson was like, "Oh, that's great." And it was just all praising him. And I was just sitting in there rolling my eyes like, is that a churchy way to say that I was a fuck nigga up until just now? And now I realize it, because that's what I was hearing. And like, I specialize in church niggas saying shit, some bullshit in the churchy way. And that's basically what Pastor John Gray was saying. So also in my rant, I told them, I don't agree with that. Fuck that. If you find your nigga is a coat 2 sizes too small for you, you need to take that nigga back to the store and get you another nigga, one that fits. Because I'm at a point where I don't care where the message is coming from. I'm not accepting it from Pastor John Gray, and I'm damn sure not accepting it from Camilla. Black women are not going to be rehabilitation centers for broken Black men or men of any fucking race. We're done. That shit ain't cute. Don't subject yourself to that. I don't want you to think that you got to endorse some man's bullshit for him to finally recognize your worth as a woman and to give you the prestigious title as a wife. And as somebody's wife, I love my husband. I do. He's a great man. I didn't have to go into him. That was a coat that was already my size. Marriage ain't all it's not it, bitch. It's okay. It's just okay. It's not the end all be all like we women think it is. So I've had a lot of pick-me's in my inbox for the last 2 weeks who are really mad at me for my thoughts on Pastor John Gray, and I'm a hating ass ugly bitch and all these other things. And I just want to tell y'all, like I told everybody else, I said what the fuck I said. Pastor John Gray, usually that nigga is spot on with his sermons, but I just can't get behind that. And I don't care how he described it. He's basically telling you that you need to endorse some bullshit to be somebody's wife. And no. Because in that 60-second clip, he talked about all the things his wife did for him and how she helped him grow. But not once did he talk about how he covered her and who the fuck was covering her while she was busy birthing this nigga and her 2 kids. It's a no for me, dog. It's a no. I said what the fuck I said. Fuck Pastor John Gray. And if you feeling some type of way about what I said about Kimbella and Joel's, fuck you too.
And I just want to add in that if you call my friend an ugly bitch or a hating ass bitch, so is your mama. Thank you.
Look, I was trying to be mature. It didn't matter because my favorite comment in my inbox is like, "You just a," what did he say? You just a jealous female who ain't got no man. And I was like, you obviously don't follow me.
I'm whole married, like all the way married. I was
like
married before I actually got married. That's how married I am.
Like married, like what? And as a married woman, no. I'm so tired of that narrative that Black women have to endure all this pain and all this bullshit. And we got to help you become the man that we need you to be, or we ain't a good woman. I'm sorry. I don't care who it comes from. But yeah, fuck Pastor John Gray. And real talk, fuck you too, Jules Santana. How you gonna put that woman through 10 years of shit and wait till you lose all your natural teeth and about to do a fair time bid to go propose to her? Okay, cool. I'm done. Chris over here being an old egg-headed son of a bitch.
Chris,
did you start working out already, sis? It's early.
Okay, well, great. As for me, my teeth for tried it. I'm trying to think because there's a few things that's happened, but over these last couple of weeks, I've been trying to keep my peace and, not worry about people, not let people stress me out. I'm just trying to enjoy myself. School's going to stress me out enough, so I'm trying to coast into this life. But I do want to just put a message out there to everybody that you don't have to really impress nobody. Okay? Now I understand that overall, I'm an underwhelming motherfucker. The most interesting thing about me is that I'm tall. And I ain't even really that tall when you think about it. I'm only like 5'10". So I it's interesting to me now that I've started to take a step back from certain things, because over the last couple of weeks I've decided that, you know what, social media is kind of stressing me out a little bit. You know, it's just too much, and I can tell that it's that way because whenever I read people's statuses, or like whenever I read things, it makes me really cynical. And I don't really like to feel that way, because I feel like I start to get that cynical about things that I shouldn't be cynical about, or I start to hate on things that I shouldn't hate on. Because I'm willing to admit that sometimes I be a hating ass bitch. You know, somebody gets engaged and I'm like, unfollow. You know, especially if I don't know you. I don't give a fuck about your marriage. If I don't know you. And I've started like unfollowing people on Instagram that I don't know, just the whole thing. And so I decided that, you know, I need to take a step back from social media, because that's not me. You know, that's a bad part of me. That's a bad iteration of me. It's not a good one. So, now that I've kind of taken a step back and looked at everything, I realize that a lot of y'all really go through a lot to try and put on for social media. And I don't mean in the sense of like, I mean, because I'm sure that all of y'all aren't out here like doing the absolute most for social media, but I feel like there's a certain level of pressure that people put on themselves to appear a certain way on social media. And I just want for everybody to, whatever you're doing right now, okay, if you're listening to this, I want you to stop, take a deep breath, in and out. I want you to drop your shoulders. I want you to unclench your jaw. I want you to, if you're sitting down, I want you to lean back into your chair, and I want you to just, you know, slouch for half a second. I want you to just completely relax. That feeling that you have right now is a feeling that you can, for the most part, maintain for yourself if you just let go of all the dumb shit that's not a real problem for you. If you just take a moment and focus on yourself and think about all the things in your life that are important to you, that doesn't involve anybody else or doesn't involve anybody else's opinion of you, or just things, if you think of the things that you need to do for yourself, if you can focus the energy, what did I put on Instagram last night? I basically said that if you took all the energy that you put into fronting and pretending and striving to please other people, and turn it into turn it into turning yourself into the person that you're pretending to be, you will be 1,000 times better. And that's what I've been trying to do. Staying off the internet, staying off social media, which, I mean, y'all can tell by looking at my social media, I ain't been trying to impress nobody. No, I be on Instagram raggedy as fuck. Like, fuck y'all, I don't care. In my bonnet, walking my
raggedy
dog. Look, I don't care. You know, but just overall, I want everybody for the new year, because over these last couple of months, I've had a level of peace kind of fall over me, even as busy as I am. And with all this shit that's going on, I feel very at peace with everything, in a manner of speaking. Maybe it's the wine. I don't know. But I want everybody to feel that inner peace. And I think the first thing that we need to do to start to get to that place of inner peace so that we can make 2019 the best for all of ourselves is just to step back and focus on you and yourself. And if you have kids, you got to focus on them. Apparently, you can't not focus on them or they'll die. So them too. But, you know, focus on yourself, worry about yourself, and do things that are for yourself. You know, just do things that are for you. Don't worry about nobody else. Don't worry about what nobody else thinks. Just go and do what you want. Just we're all going to die one day. And according to NASA or whoever the fuck, it's looking like soon. Asteroids and all that other shit. Could you imagine walking out to the street and getting hit by a car and realize that when you died, you weren't happy? You know how much the idea of that has to suck? You know, I don't know. I don't even know what the point of this tea for trying this, but that's my whole thing, is just stop fronting for the internet. Everybody just be yourself. As far as somebody who fucking tried me, United States Postal Service, I'm sick of your shit.
We are all collectively sick of your shit. Okay.
I don't fucking understand. I'm sick of your shit. Fuck y'all.
Been tired of your ass.
And that's all I got. Crystal, what you got?
My tea for tried it is simply, because I'm not going to talk about what happened at work. I'm going to simplify it. Listen to me when I tell you something the first motherfucking time.
Oh, life would be so much simpler if everybody did that.
If I tell you that something needs to be done and it's very important, and you don't get it done, and you wait until the last motherfucking minute when something is wrong and then you realize you need to get it done now and you try to rush me, wrong bitch. Wrong bitch. Wrong bitch. Don't rush me. It was supposed to take 30 minutes. Now it's taking 4 hours. Rush me again. And I'm adding an hour every time you ask me what's going on. Listen to me when I tell you the first motherfucking time about something. Learn your damn lesson. Because one of my favorite things to do is to say, I told you so.
She does really like doing that, guys.
I love saying it because you should have fucking listened to me.
She told me I told you so, and she ain't even told me shit.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. Ugh, that's all I have to say.
And another thing, to certain workplaces, not necessarily my workplaces, but just to some of the places that I've been to lately, if you pay people, if you do give your employees the absolute minimum, they're going to give you the absolute minimum back.
Exactly.
It's so simple. Like, companies be like, what can we do to improve more employee morale? Pay us more?
It's always an option.
Treat people with respect.
Always an option. There's just been a lot of
and 1 hour lunch breaks for Christ's fucking sakes. No one can eat and actually taste their food in 30 minutes. The fuck.
Oh, yeah,
also, here's a thought: be transparent and know how to fucking communicate. Crazy idea, crazy thought. I know, but like, just try it. I promise it'll work out.
I lost the mouse to the computer. Okay. Found it.
Wait. For a second, I thought that was supposed to be like a metaphor for something, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Wait. Oh, she did lose the mouse. Okay.
I found it though. I'm here. Okay, guys. Last but not least, we have our yes bitch of the show, and I am going to give this. Who wants to do it?
Crystal.
Okay. Crystal.
What's our yes bitch? Is it me? Oh my God! Thank you so much. I was not expecting that.
No,
and you shouldn't be expecting it because it's not you. Not
no. Yet. The yes bitch of this week is Super Scent. For all who do not know, Super Scent is a black woman who got fame through Instagram. And a part of her business venture, she has a makeup line called Crayon Box.
It's called the Crayon Case.
Crayon Case. Okay, that's what it is.
That Crayola tried to steal from her.
We're not doing this today. We're focusing on her and her victories.
And so,
I'm sorry.
But fuck you, Crayola. You tried it.
We know that Black Friday recently passed, and she did $1 million in sale in about an hour and a half on her Black Friday sales. So shout out to her, successful Black women. We love you. That's dope. If I wore more makeup and didn't have like 9 to 10 eyeshadow palettes in my closet that I haven't touched in months, I would buy that too. But unfortunately, I don't wear makeup like that. So
all the dark lipsticks are sold out.
I'm gonna buy something from her line because she started with just an eyeshadow palette, but now she has face powders, makeup brushes, highlighters. So I'm gonna buy something. I'm just gonna wait till this Black Friday rush is over. I don't mind paying full price.
You know what? I decided that I'm gonna go get something from Beauty Bakery because they're in Ulta now.
Bitch, I saw them in Ulta, and if they didn't catch me during the brokest week of my young life.
Listen, and FYI, for all my people out there struggling on a budget, they have layaway. So, like, you could pay an installment. So, like, if you buy a shit ton of makeup from them, you can have the option to pay in installments.
I didn't even know that. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I didn't need to know that, so I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear it. So,
well, I'm not gonna tell y'all how I know. So.
Do you feel me judging you?
I hope you can see my face through the phone. Like, I want you to know the face I have is the Maxine Waters face and that one meme I keep posting.
I need more dark lipstick.
You have 2 lips. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate y'all for listening. We also appreciate you guys for the support that you've been showing us as we venture out onto our own. I totally forgot to check this, to mention this, but I want to give a special shout out to our cousin Curtis. Ooh, I probably shouldn't have said your whole name. I have to bleep that out.
We'll bleep it out.
Curtis, who sent us an email, who said that he just wanted to hit us up and let us wish us good luck in our transition, and to let us know when the new podcast is set up so we can tune in. We definitely will, and thank you, Curtis, for your email. If you would like to get in contact with the show, you can tweet us at T for Tried It. If you would like to email us, you can email us at hwap.podcast@gmail.com. That is HWHAP.podcast@gmail.com.
Hold up. There was just a shooting on the University of Cincinnati's campus.
Oh, no.
Just now?
Nigga, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, Play Cousins, you might be getting a drive-by sometime later, just not tonight.
Not tonight. You can find us on Facebook, all up in the Black Astronauts Podcast Network page. We ain't never gonna leave. You got to kick me out, bitch.
You run that page. It's our page, really.
Our page.
We on that nigga shit.
Also, if you would like to support HWAP, you can go to www.patreon.com/HWAP Network. That is HWHAP Network. You can become a patron. You can support the show because niggas got things to pay for. And I'm about this close to selling ass. So look us up. No, not really. I wouldn't tell y'all that. I would just do it. And if you want to get in contact with me, Ray, you can find me all over the internet at This Zed is a Jerk. Lloyd.
You looking for me or my cute ass daughter? You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at @thatgirl_Lloyd.
Oh, and get better, Garvey. Come on, baby. And you too, Crystal?
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook as Chrissy Chula. You can find me on Tumblr and Twitter as the Chrissy Chula. And you can email me at ask_Chrissy@yahoo.com, and also contribute to a bitch's Patreon, patreon.com/Chrissy Chula. And I will be releasing more Chrissy Does Fairy Tales, so look out for that on Instagram.
Yes. And until next time, cousins, peace.
Bye.
Bye.